Hello, my name is John, and I want to thank you for joining me in this Paying for College, a Guide to the Financial Aid Process presentation. Now, to start off this presentation, I want to explain a little bit about what financial aid is, and maybe at the same time tell you a little bit about what financial aid isn't. Now, financial aid is actually made up of these programs that are out there to help a family offset the cost of education. So it is made up of what I call the good stuff. That's the gift financial aid. That's in the form of grants and scholarships, and they could be based on financial need or they could be based on some special talent the student has, like their grade point average, class rank, etc. And then there's self-help financial aid, which could be in the form of loans or in the form of student employment, where a college can set aside some money and the student has the opportunity to earn that money by working usually on campus, and they would get paid based on the hours that they work. So in a nutshell, that is what financial aid is. Now, it's important to know that financial aid is not out there to necessarily pay for all of a student's education. It's to be out there as a supplement to hopefully supplement what the family has in the form of their income and their assets to help them offset the cost of education. Now, the most important application that a student needs to complete to be considered for most kinds of aid is what we call the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. What this application tries to do is it tries to show the Department of Education kind of a snapshot of what the family's financial situation is. Now, sometimes people say, well, I've heard a lot about that FAFSA thing. I heard it's a pain. We're probably not going to qualify for much anyway because our neighbors filled it out last year and they didn't get much, and we're about in the same boat. So I don't think we'll mess with it. Maybe we'll just look at loans, something like that. Well, in my opinion, every student should go ahead and fill out this free application for federal student aid. It doesn't cost anything to apply, and when you fill it out, you automatically apply for federal grants. You automatically apply for most state grants. Some colleges want to see the results before they offer you money out of their own pocket, and a few private scholarships might even want to see the results as well. This application is not a loan application, but before a student or parent can access educational loans, you have to fill out this application first. So that's why I suggest that every student fill out this free application. So let's talk a little bit about how you would actually apply for financial aid. What you would do to apply for financial aid is go to this Department of Education website. The address is studentaid.gov. Notice it gets processed in approximately, well, just under a week or so. And this application has what they call skip logic. And that skip logic allows the student to maybe skip questions later on based on the answers that they provide in the application. So again, the website is studentaid.gov. Now, the earliest that a student can apply for financial aid would be fall of their senior year. So for the 25-26 academic year, the earliest would be December 1st of their senior year. Now, the important thing to know is that every college has what we call a priority financial aid application date. And the important thing to know is that you apply before the college or colleges you're looking at before the earliest priority application date. The earliest ones for this year in the state of Iowa would be during the first week of February. So my suggestion to you would be to fill out this application in December or January. Now you would be well ahead of any priority application dates, and the earlier that you apply, the earlier that a college could come back and let you know what the student qualifies for. So again, my suggestion would be in December or January. When a student applies for aid, the student will need to create a studentaid.gov account to access the application. Now, at least one parent will also need to create a studentaid.gov account to access their information and to access the application. Sometimes more than one parent would need an account. I would suggest that you view a short presentation that we have on studentaid.gov accounts on our website to get more information about that. The other important thing about studentaid.gov accounts is you can no longer create the account and then access the application immediately. There is a 3 to 7 day verification process time frame that you have to be aware of. So make sure that you create these accounts at least a week or so before you want to apply for financial aid. A few hints, I guess, for filling out this application. It helps to have your tax information in front of you. Most of you will probably be able to click a button and download your tax information right into the application. However, that doesn't always work, and sometimes you might need to answer a few more questions than what are actually downloaded. So it does help to have your documents in front of you. Please remember, there's never any foolish questions in this financial aid process because it is kind of its own ballgame. And the application needs to be completed every year that a student wants to be considered for financial aid. So again, the website that you apply for aid at is studentaid.gov. It's a Department of Education website. Once you complete the application, the student will receive what we call a FAFSA submission summary. And this gives the student the opportunity to kind of review the answers that they provided. And if they need to make corrections, you can do so. So any errors that you made on the FAFSA can be corrected. One of the things found on this FAFSA summary would be something called a Student Aid Index, or an SAI. So the Department of Education asks all these questions about income and assets on the application, and they come up with this number. And this number, this SAI, is used in determining what the student's eligibility is for financial aid at the college or colleges they want to be considered for aid at. So the student can list multiple colleges on the application. They'll get this information. They could then consider the student for financial aid. If you're curious as to what the results might look like for your student or for the student watching this video, then you can go to this estimator. Notice it's on the same website as the FAFSA. It's studentaid.gov, and you can kind of get an idea of what to expect when you actually apply for financial aid. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, wow, this sounds kind of complicated, I wish I had some help, you've got several options that you can access help with. Remember, everything we do at ICANN is for free. You're welcome to schedule an in-person or a virtual appointment with one of us. We'd be happy to help you complete the application, or you could attend one of our other events that might be held in a nearby high school. You can go to our website to find out where we might be holding these various events. Now, eventually, the college will send the student something called a financial aid offer, and this usually happens towards the spring of the student's senior year. Now, we do have another video, another recording on the financial aid offer review. I only want to mention that this is sent to the student either via email or in the mail, and it tells the student, here's what our cost is at the college, and here are the specific dollar amounts we're going to offer you to offset the cost. Once you get these financial aid offers, in my mind, that's kind of when it's decision time. Now, hopefully, money's not the only thing determining where a student's going to go to college, but it's obviously a very important factor. But when you get these financial aid offers, that's when you can really make an informed decision as to what is it going to cost us out of pocket to go to these various colleges. And that is when you start thinking about, well, do we work a little extra? Do we come up with a payment plan at the college, or do we have to access loans? So that's how the financial aid process works. So if you want more information, like I say, we have other recordings on more specific things found within the financial aid process. But please feel free to schedule an appointment or utilize some of the resources that are found on our website. So your next steps would be to apply for scholarships. This is usually through the high school or other scholarship databases. Don't forget to create that studentaid.gov account and be sure to ask questions if you have them. So thank you very much. I appreciate you joining me for this financial aid presentation. Thank you.